Hey guys, welcome back to our youth training video. We thank you guys again for joining us. In this section, this video, we just want to go over simply planning an event. And I know it may not be so simple. There's so many details that go into these events that we do for the kids, activities we do for the kids. But we want to give you the framework for how to have a successful event. One of the verses that always encourages me is John 15:16, and it says this. It says, "For you did not choose me, but I chose you, that you should go and bear much fruit, and that whatever you ask the Father in my name, that I shall give you." And I'm always encouraged not only to move forward, but I'm always reminded that God has a purpose for my life, right? Some of you guys are given the gift of leadership. Some of you guys are visionaries. Some of you guys, the Lord has given you awesome clarity and vision for putting things together, activities, events to glorify the Lord. And so we just kind of want to give you that framework in doing that here at the Ark, right? So where do we start in planning an event? The first thing is this: pray, and pray some more, right? You want to invite the Holy Spirit to be the leader in your event. You want to invite Him to give you that guidance and direction and counsel, and really seeking His face for this event. You know, there's times where we put things together and it's like, man, did we even pray about this? Right? But we want to take it to the Lord even before taking it to our overseers and going forward with the plans that we have. We want to give it to the Lord and invite Him and to seek His heart and His will, because that's what we want to accomplish. The second thing is this: communicate your heart and your vision to your overseer. You know, you want to explain what you want to do. What are your hopes? What are your desires? What are you trying to accomplish? There's some things that you want to keep in mind as you think about that. What am I trying to do with this event? Am I trying to reach kids for the Lord? Am I giving gospel opportunities to reach new kids that don't know Christ? Am I desiring to have kids grow in the knowledge of God? Is it maybe a Bible study, a summer series, or something that the kids are going to be built up in their faith? Is it a time where kids are going to belong? Are you trying to build community and fellowship and giving the kids an atmosphere where they can be engaged and involved with one another? Is it an opportunity to serve? We take Mexico trips, or we visit Fred Jordan Mission where kids go and they put their hands to the plow and they go to work and they serve the Lord, and God ministers to them in such mighty ways, right? And so you want to think about that in planning your event. What am I trying to accomplish? And communicate that to your overseer, whether that's verbally and talking, whether that's through email, or whether that's through writing out very detailed your vision and what your hopes and desires are for that event. You want to communicate that to them, right? The third thing is this: who's in, right? Get commitments. Who's helping you? Who's going to come alongside you and help you fulfill the vision that God's given you? You know, as a ministry here, we are an inclusive ministry, not an exclusive. It's not a time where we just pick one or two people and, hey, you know what, this is what we're doing. No, we want to give everyone an opportunity to say, hey, I want to come alongside you in that. And in that, what are these people helping you with? It's kind of counterintuitive, sort of say, for you to take on the whole burden and the whole load of this event all by yourself, flying solo. It's never a fun thing to do with all that work. But get commitments, who's in, and be intentional about including the whole team. The fourth thing is this: paperwork. Here at the Ark, we have two papers that we turn in whenever something, an event, whether it's a Bible study, an ongoing event, an activity, maybe if it's off-site, there's two papers that we turn in. One is the event planner that gives details on who, what, when, where, why, and how. And the second thing is your marketing request. It's basically your graphics form. It's the getting it out in the bulletin, the announcements, those types of things. But fulfilling this paperwork is super, super important. And here's why. It gets all areas of ministry here at the Ark knowing about what you're planning to do. You know, the Word of God tells us that we should be all on one accord, on the same page, and that things should be done decently and in order. And so in doing this, we have protocol, right? We submit that paperwork, and that paperwork goes to our overseer, it goes to our pastoral care, we sign off on it, it goes to the office, and the office distributes it to where and what it needs to go. The fifth thing to think about, now that you've prayed, now that you've communicated your vision, now that you've got commitments, now that you've submitted your paperwork, the next thing is this: promote your event, right? Get the word out. We want to use all avenues, every avenue that we possibly can to do that, whether that's the bulletin here at the church, whether that's announcing it in our junior high and high school ministry, or announcing it in the sanctuary, whether that's promoting it on social media, not only the churches, but also your very own, promoting your event, so that way you can communicate what you're trying to do to your audience. And so it's super important that you take steps to pushing that forward. And one of the things that a lot of leaders sometimes forget about is how important it is to communicate and promote your event with the parents. The parents are so crucial. The parents are spending time with their kids, way more time with their kids than we are, right? So why not have a parent informed on what you're trying to do or what your event is, and they can talk to them about it at the dinner table. They can encourage their son or daughter to get involved with that on their way to school, on their way to some family function, right? The parents are so crucial, and don't overlook them in trying to get the word out for your event. Now, you've promoted it. Now the last but not least, is you execute, right? You execute to the best of your ability what God has laid upon your heart. Colossians chapter 3 verse 23 says this: "And whatever you do, do it with all your heart as to the Lord and not to men." And that's the motivation that we take when putting something together. We know that, hey, this isn't for any one person. This is for God. And what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish, is to glorify Christ and to allow Him to get the honor and the glory with what we're trying to do. So I hope that encourages you. I hope that gives you maybe a starting point, maybe some framework for how to get your ideas implemented through our ministry here. And I pray and I hope that you're blessed by this short clip. Love you guys. God bless.